Hi, I'm Bob Ostrom, and this is another free art lesson. Today we're going to talk about three-point perspective. Okay, so for today's lesson, you're probably going to want to have a triangle, T-square. You might need a longer straight edge just in case your triangle's a little short like mine is. And you'll need a couple pencils. So three-point perspective is that kind of cool perspective you see when you're looking at a comic book, when you see the buildings kind of fading off into the distance. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to kind of rough this in just a little bit, okay? So you can get an idea of where, kind of where you want your stuff to be, okay? And so this will help you not be surprised when you're picking out your vanishing points and suddenly wind up with something you don't really want. So I'm just going to draw a quick little cityscape here, okay? So I'm going to select, based on my drawing, my bottom vanishing point is going to be right here. You might see I have some light pencil lines in here, but once you guys get your buildings in, you can sort of find those, kind of find a common ground. And I've determined that my vanishing point is going to be right here. Now I need two more vanishing points. These two vanishing points are going to go on my horizon line. So as I look at the top of my buildings, I see that this vanishing point is going to be right about here on the edge of this paper. And then as I measure this one here, looks like we're going to be right around here somewhere, okay? So let's go ahead and put in our horizon line, okay? There's our horizon line. We make sure our vanishing points are on our horizon line. So there they are right there. That's vanishing point 1, vanishing point 2, okay? And we'll just call this our horizon line, okay? So as you can see, we've got one vanishing point, two vanishing points, and three vanishing points. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start to go over our rough lines and put in the tops of our buildings. Okay, so you can see, remember how we did this? We're going to go back to find our vanishing point here. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, and that's the top of my building, and go back to our vanishing point here. Now we're going to find the back edge of it. Okay, so we've already got that sort of roughed out, so we know where it's going to land, and we do this. Go back. And then for this side, find the edge of our building, go back to vanishing point 1. Okay, now you'll notice that my rough was fairly close, but not exact. Okay. Now for our center line, we can go ahead and use our T-square. We just line that up with the vanishing point right down here. Say okay. Right there's our center line. Now let's find the bottoms of these buildings. Okay. Looks like we're going to go about right to here. And then we just bring that right back up to vanishing point number 2. Okay? And I'm just putting these lines in so you can kind of see where we're headed. Same deal goes for this one, only we go to vanishing point number 1. So now you can see we're starting to form the base of our buildings here. Okay, now we want to go ahead and draw in the sides of our buildings. So we're going to go down to vanishing point 3 for that. I'm going to use my triangle because it's a little less clunky. So here we go down to vanishing point number 3. And we're going to start at this corner right here, go straight down, and it will find the bottom corner for us. And the same goes for the other side. Start at this corner and go down. Okay? So now we have our first building. Let's put in the other couple of buildings here. Okay, so for this one, this is the bottom corner of my building. I'm going to go down to vanishing point number 3. Just measure straight up from there. Okay, then we go back over to here. We find the edge of this building. I'm going to go right up like that. Okay, and let's put this guy in the middle here too. Okay, this is starting to come together pretty nicely here. Let's put in the top of this building here. So I find the corner of that, which is going to be right there. Go back to vanishing point number 2 for this edge. And then I got to go to vanishing point number 1 for that edge, so I'm going to use my longer straight edge because I know my triangle is not going to reach all that way. So I line those up, and I put that in right like that. Okay, you with me so far? Staying with me? Good. Okay, let's put in these edges of the front of these buildings. Okay, we're going to go over to vanishing point number 1, find our corner, and we go ahead and put that in right there. Okay. And let's put this one in up here too. Okay, looking good. There we go. Okay, now we've got to find the tops of these. We're going to head back over to vanishing point number 2. Guys sort of getting the idea here? There we go. So let's bring that back like that. Just want to show you how it's going to line up. And then let's put this one in right here. We go back this far because this building is blocking the rest of our path, so we just put that in like that. Okay, and then to determine the back edge, we put a little, we figure our corner is going to be right about there, so let's go to vanishing point number 1, and we'll put that in right there like that. Okay, so now you can see we've got our buildings put in here. What do you say we put some windows in our buildings? Okay, so I'm going to kind of rough out where I think those are going to go. Say about like this, something like that. So now that we've got those kind of roughed out, let's figure they'll probably be about this tall. Now our vanishing points are going to do all the work for us. So first we go to number 2. We're going to find how those fit in like that. There's the tops. There's the bottoms. Okay, now we got to find where the widths of these go, so we go down to vanishing point number 3. And you'll notice that I'm drawing this the full length of the building because I want to have windows on different floors for this building. Okay. So now you can see that we've got the length of the windows going down. We just have to decide how tall they're going to be. And to do that, we go over to vanishing point number 2. Okay, we're just going to block these in like this. All right. And my triangle is getting a little short, but I think I can fake it through that last one there. Okay. So now it looks like we got a ton of boxes on there. I'm going to go ahead and grab a pen here or darker. We'll go with a darker pencil so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put in these window squares so you guys can see them. Okay, almost there. All right, and here's our last one right here. Now let's get the tops and bottoms. You can start to see how these windows are are all lining up. Almost done there. There we go. Okay. So that's pretty much three-point perspective. If you want to add some more windows, just follow the patterns that we did for these windows. Let's say we wanted to bring these guys down here. If you want to find, I'm going to show you one more thing, sorry. If we want to find the height of these windows on this side of the building, all you need to do is follow your lines down like this and then bring them back up to vanishing point number 1. And then you'll see that the windows on this side will match the height of the windows on this side. And you can go ahead and add doors, windows, or whatever you like on the rest of the buildings. Well, I hope you've learned a lot from this lesson on three-point perspective. Make sure you check out my other DVDs or other free art lessons. If you'd like to see my artwork, you can go to bobostromstudio.com.